We have some big news right now. The White House and MAGA Republicans are freaking out after Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize today. Instead, with the Nobel Committee awarding it to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who is very well deserving of this extraordinary prize. And they're not happy because they thought that Donald Trump not only should win, but they're also not happy because he lost to a Latina woman. Laura Loomer, one of Donald Trump's closest people on the internet, says, "Imagine thinking a woman who cries nonstop about Nicolas Maduro has done more for the world than President Trump. What an absolute joke. Everyone knows Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. More affirmative action nonsense." White House Communications Director Stephen Chung said on his official account, President Trump will continue making peace deals, ending wars and saving lives. He has the heart of a humanitarian, and there will be never be anyone like him who can move mountains with the sheer force of his will. The Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace. Not happy at the White House this morning, so spread the word. We're waiting for Trump's reaction. Follow along for more.
Even though I know you wanted it, I'm sorry, Trumpy. You didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. It went to Maria Corina Machado, the Venezuelan opposition leader who's promoted tirelessly democratic values and rights for the people of Venezuela. She got the Nobel Peace Prize because of all her efforts to free the Venezuelan people from dictatorship to democracy. You, on the other hand, not so much.
It is so funny to watch the MAGA Republicans melt down over Donald Trump not winning the Nobel Peace Prize. The committee announced that they were giving the award to Maria Corina Machado for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and her struggle to achieve a democracy. And that has sent some of the biggest names in MAGA politics over the edge. Laura Loomer said, "Imagine thinking a woman who cries nonstop about Maduro has done more for the world than Trump. What a joke." Megyn Kelly said Roger Ailes never even allowed anyone to submit for an award because he understood how meaningless they were. It's so funny that they're calling it meaningless because if Trump would have won the award, they'd say it's the best thing ever. Stephen Chung, a senior advisor to Trump, said the Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace. I don't know. Benny Johnson even cited Vladimir Putin to back up his argument because Putin said that the award has lost all credibility. What? All day, the MAGA fans have been in a total spiral. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've enjoyed every second of it.
So the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize was officially announced. And no, it was not my president. Now, I was raised to be a good sport about these things. So I'm going to start off by congratulating the woman who did win the prize, which is this lady right here. She is Maria, or essentially, hopefully, the next president of Venezuela, who is combating communism and looking to bring the American way into Venezuela. Now, for all y'all America-hating, Trump-hating individuals out there, let me show y'all something real quick. This recognition of the struggle of all Venezuelans is a boost to conclude our task to conquer freedom. We are on the threshold of victory, and today, more than ever, we count on President Trump, the people of the United States, the people of Latin America, and the democratic nations of the world as our principal allies to achieve freedom and democracy. I dedicate this prize to the suffering of the people of Venezuela and, wait for it, President Joe Biden? Obama? No. President Trump, for his decisive support of our cause. Even when the globalists don't want you to win, you still end up winning. That's our president right there.
The person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, "I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it." A very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me though. I think she might have. She was very nice. And you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. But there are those that say we did so much that they should have done it. But I don't take. I'm happy because I saved millions of lives. many millions of lives.
This one is wild. MAGA supporters are losing their minds because Donald Trump didn't win the Nobel Prize. Yes, the Nobel Prize he thought he deserved. Oh my God, the internet is on fire right now with their reactions. The outrage, the tears, and the confusion are next level. You can't imagine this. Let's talk about the drama, the irony, and why this whole thing feels like political karma in real time. Let's get into it.
So, Trump and all of his allies were hoping he'd win a Nobel Prize. How is the right coping with Trump not winning one?
Are they going to do like Turning Point USA and create their own prize to give him?
You're kind of close.
Oh, really?
They're dealing with it like this.
That's why he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. And that's why I'm introducing a resolution for a sense of Congress today that will honor him with the Nobel Peace Prize.
Do you think maybe that the reason that the Nobel Committee did not give it to him is because you had to get the application in and before January 31st? And that was only 11 days into President Trump's second term?
This is the gaslighting that nobody talks about. The one that you need where your friends are like, you the best. What can we do? He didn't get his application in on time.
Right, you deserve a Peace Prize.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the trophy shop. I'm going to make you a Peace Prize.
Yeah.
We're going to get a 3D printer, and we're just going to make you the Trump Peace Prize.
It's a medal, though,
Oh, it's a medal.
Not when we make one for our boy Trump. We're going to make Trump a big ass. It's going to be like a Flavor Flav plot.
So they gave away the Nobel Peace Prize this morning, and it didn't go to Trump. Don't you just love to see it? Let's get into it. So as you can see here, they gave it to Maria Corina Machado, a Venezuelan opposition leader, for promoting democracy at a time when an increasing number of countries are falling into authoritarianism. Sounds familiar. Now, the clip I'm about to show you is when they asked the people or a person at the Nobel Peace Prize this morning at a news conference about Trump wanting to get the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm going to show you what the man said when he was asked about it.
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and he'd like to have it. He even said that it would be an insult to the United States if he doesn't get it. What does as the chairman of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, think of this, and how has this campaign-like activity by the president and his supporters, domestically and internationally, affected the deliberations and the thinking in the committee?
In the long history of the Nobel Peace Prize, I think this committee have seen any type of campaign, media attention. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say what for them leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with both courage and integrity. So we base only our decision on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel.
At least someone in this world ain't a damn coward. I got bad news for you, Donnie. If courage and integrity are two of the things the Nobel Peace Prize Committee is looking for in an award winner, your ass is going to see 6 feet deep before you ever get a Nobel Peace Prize.
So Donald Trump, we all know, did not get the Nobel Peace Prize. So when a reporter asked him how he feels about it, how does he feel about Maria Machado getting it? He turns around and tries to flip it and say, she got it because of his help.
The Nobel Peace Prize was announced this morning. Your thoughts?
Which one?
The Nobel Peace Prize. Your thoughts?
Look, including a very big one, and I'm not sure, when you say big, it's certainly, I think, to the mind of most, the most important deal ever made in terms of peace. But the one we just signed, it's been signed, sealed, and it's going to start taking place now. It's already started. Monday's going to be a very big day when the hostages come back. But I made 8 deals, transactions of wars. One was 31 years going on. 10 million people were killed. One was 34 years. One was 36, 37. One was 10. One was just starting. 2 were just starting, actually, but they were well on their way. In the case of India and Pakistan, 7 planes were shot down. It was a bad one. And I did it largely through trade. I mean, that one, numerous of them I talked tariffs. I said, look, if you're going to do that, we're going to put very big tariffs on your country. And they were both great. They stopped fighting, and there were two nuclear powers. So, they're all big. They're every one of them big. You take a look at the Congo. You take a look at the Congo and Rwanda. 10 million people killed over a long period of time. Got that one solved. We did a total of 8 as of this 2 days ago. I would have said 7, which I did say, but the other one was signed up, sealed. As you know, Israel signed it just now. They signed it and they approved it today, their parliament. And it's a great honor to be involved with so many. So the person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. A very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me, though. I think she might have. She was very nice. And I've been helping her along the way. They need a lot of help in Venezuela. It's a basic disaster. So, and you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. All of the transactions that we did in terms of closing. But there are those that say we did so much that they should have done it. But I'm happy because I saved millions of lives. Many millions of lives. And speaking of somebody that saves lives, don't ever play golf with him because Keegan Bradley just walked in, one of the greatest golfers in the world, the captain of the Ryder Cup. And man, I'll tell you did a good job. You almost came back. I turned on. I said, I sort of turned off. It wasn't looking good. And then a little while later, I turned on. I said, you guys might make that would have been the miracle. What a great job. He's respected by those golfers like nobody. And I just want to compliment you, Keegan. That was a incredible job. Right here, we have a lot of unfriendly fake news media, and he's not used to that. He's used to getting only good publicity, I think, Howard. These are all golfers, but you're some golfer, I'll tell you that, and some leader. Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, Keegan.
Mr. President, on China.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just hear all of those excuses coming from him, but it all boils down to is he's a loser. And how does it feel, Donald Trump, to lose at something you really, really desired? You were trying to cheat your way into getting a Nobel Peace Prize, and it turns out no one was falling for it. But I can be more transparent and honest with you about it. Until you stop allowing ICE agents to run around this country and terrorize people, until you stop worshiping Vladimir Putin, right? Until you take accountability for what happened on January 6th, and the list goes on and on. I don't see how you should even fix your lips to ask to get a Nobel Peace Prize, because let's just face it, you will never, ever, ever be as great as Barack Hussein Obama. Now, you Trump supporters, get back to doing what you've been doing. Kissing and smelling his dirty, disgusting diaper and begging for him to be a Nobel Peace Prize recipient.
So I was woken up this morning very rudely. I'd only gotten 9.5 hours sleep, whereas as president, I try to get 12 to 13. That's what great medical people say I should get. But I had to wake up early because the radical left globalists in Sweden, I think it is, where they make the Swedish fish, which we will no longer be eating. By the way, I've eaten a lot of Swedish fish in my years, and sorry, we're not eating them anymore, because what Sweden just did is one of the great insults to our country, to me, and most importantly, to peace. To peace, because we are committed to peace through strength, and I've done more for peace than anybody. Reese's called me and said, sir, we thought we had done the most for pieces, but you've done even more than Reese's. We're renaming them Trump pieces because you've done such a beautiful job for peace. And I don't do this for awards. I don't wake up every morning screaming into a mirror that a black president got a Nobel Peace Prize. No, I do it for the people. We do it for peace. We do it for love. We love love and we love peace. And I just helped Israel get peace with hummus, and they didn't even need pita bread or chips. to do it. They did it because of me. And I simply let Bibi Netanyahu murder until he was tired. And I said, how about peace? Because it's a good time to get somebody to agree to peace is when they're tired. They say, okay, peace. So we did that. I ended the War of the Roses, which, if you recall, Michael Douglas was very tough in that movie, and I ended it, okay? We ended War Games because I got to the credits in the movie, and I said, okay, turn it off. So we ended that. I also did peace in countries, states. I'm sending troops into my own country, of course, because first, how do you get peace if you don't have war? People don't. There's no peace. If everything's good, there's no peace. You didn't think about that, did you? How do you give a peace prize? Now, they gave it to some Venezuelan woman, Maria Conchita Alonso, I think. And we like her. I've posted Truth Socials about her, but this is still an insult. So I've instructed Administrative Assistant of War, Pete Hegseth, to blow up her boat, but to make sure that the prize, we rescue the prize. So kill everybody on the boat, because it's a Venezuelan boat, she's probably dealing drugs, but to rescue the prize and give it to me.
So apparently Trump and his supporters were so sure he was going to win the Nobel Peace Prize this year. They have been talking about it for weeks, claiming he brought peace to the Middle East, or that he did more for world peace than any president in history. Yeah, but when the announcement came out and his name wasn't even mentioned, this was crazy. Chaos, pure chaos. The internet exploded. Oh my God. MAGA fans were posting on Truth Social, X, and Facebook saying things like, the Nobel Committee is corrupt, or they robbed our great president again. Some were even demanding that Trump get an American-made Nobel Prize instead. I mean, you can't make this up. They truly thought this was his moment to be crowned the man of peace. This is crazy. And of course, Trump didn't stay quiet. He went online saying, everybody knows I deserve that Nobel Prize, but they will never give it to me because of politics. Oh, wow. Typical Trump energy. He always plays the victim. It's never his fault. It's always them. But let's be real. Let's be real. The Nobel Prize isn't about vibes. It's about actual global impact. And no, starting Twitter wars doesn't count as world peace. It doesn't. So this moment is just poetic. Trump spent years calling other leaders weak, mocking Obama, who actually won the Nobel Prize. You all know this. And now he's watching that same award slip right past him. The same crowd that said awards don't matter is now crying because their favorite politician didn't get one. Sorry for you. So sorry for you guys. So it's the kind of irony you just can't write. Karma showed up in a red tie and said, not today, Donald. Twitter was brutal. People were posting memes like, Trump waiting for his Nobel, like it's MC Donald's order that never comes. Others said maybe he thought Nobel stood for Nobel, and he's the reason there is no peace there. Jokes are endless, but honestly, it shows how disconnected his base can be from reality. Yeah, they truly believe the world owes him everything. Yeah. So here is the thing. Whether you like Trump or not, Expecting a Nobel Prize for being loud and controversial is just wild. This is right, man. The Nobel is for people who build bridges, not burn them down. So yeah, the outrage might continue, but for the rest of us, we are just here for the entertainment. And trust me, the memes alone are worth a Nobel in comedy. Trust me. So what do you all think? Huh? What do you all think about this? Do you believe Trump ever stood a real chance at a Nobel Prize? Or is this just another example of MAGA delusion? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear your take. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because this political circus never sleeps. Yeah, it never sleeps. And I'll be right here breaking it down for you all. See you in the next one. Bye.